Yes, I do. Actually am both. I am self-employed and employed. I do spend about, I would say 45 to 50% of my time into my self-employment, which is maintaining and managing my rental properties. We were doing the HUD thing, but getting tenants to comply when they're in HUD is kind of tough versus putting someone on a full contract without a third party in there. It's a little different, a little bit easier to manage, I guess, and a little easier to negotiate if you have issues. That's kind of what we do with DY Enterprises. So, we buy good quality rental properties and everything, and rent them for reasonable prices, to the middle and low class working group. Kind of took me a while to get into it. My wife kept wanting to follow, I guess, the footsteps of her mom, which she was doing very well in the rental property business in that area. So she kind of massaged me, so to speak, to get into it or consider it and stuff. And as I started thinking about it, I mean, I knew about flipping properties and things of that nature and stuff, but in that particular area of the country, there were prime properties that were going for exceptional prices and stuff, and the equity that we have in the properties and stuff were pretty good. So as we kind of stuck our feet in the water, I would say my toe in the water, to see what it would be like and stuff. The first property, it proved to be very successful. Of course, we captured lessons learned, things of that nature, and started applying the concepts as we grew a little bit. And so far, so good.
What is the most difficult part about being self-employed from your perspective?
Most difficult part is being far away, not being co-located with the property. So basically, proximity is kind of an issue and stuff. I mean, it makes me wonder about those folks who are going and flipping properties or buying properties in state. How are they managing? How are they managing the business and stuff? I'm not saying that you can't do it. I believe you can, but if that's that, to me, that seems that that's all you will be doing and stuff. That is probably the hardest, is not being co-located with the properties. Everything else, I think we worked around pretty well. Issues with maintenance and things like that, it was just a phone call, getting a person there, that kind of stuff. But actually being there and seeing what people are doing, or if they're maintaining their end of the contract, all this kind of stuff, it's kind of difficult because we're not right there with the properties. Just above break even, I would say. I think we do pretty good. Not too bad. The properties are actually paying for themselves. Not seeing a lot of profit out of it because we're still early or all that good stuff into it. So we right now are seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. I mean, because there's like 3 or 4 properties right now that are sitting within the $6,000 below window for final payments, that kind of stuff. So I think once we hit that, at least 3 of them down and stuff, I think we'll start seeing a little more monetary growth in the company. It was the potential that really kept me interested in going. I mean, there's a lot of potential when you buy an $80,000 property for $25,000, okay, and you pay it off in 4 to 5 years, and you have that equity in the company. And you kind of build that asset in the companies and stuff. I mean, there's a lot of potential there for you to, one, you can come back and you can definitely refurbish the properties and make them, a better quality home for somebody. So if you make a better quality home for somebody, then those people are more inclined to take care of the place, probably have a little bit more self-pride themselves, seeking better employment, maybe even wanting to buy some of the properties themselves and stuff. So it's kind of a thing that pushed the local municipals into wanting to improve the economic posture of those communities. So it's kind of not so much of a long shot and stuff. It's just kind of getting those folks into a mindset of, okay, hey, if I can do this, then I can do that. The same thing. If we can bump it up a notch in the properties, they can bump it up a notch in their lives too. So, I mean, I think everybody should have an opportunity to live better and stuff, and we should be a part of that to help them live better. So it's kind of, one of those things that, you want to, have your business survive and stuff, but you want to give back to the community at the same time. So that's kind of how we see it. It's a farming community. I mean, a lot of folks, you have folks there that are in, like I said, there's one particular store that sells farming equipment, that kind of stuff. You have, a seed and grain store there and stuff. You have a hardware store. You have, scrap metal yard. But most of the folks there are farmers, and that's what they do. They farm all year round and stuff. I mean, fields, rice fields, wheat fields. You have all kinds of stuff going on now. That's their main source of revenue for all the folks around there and stuff. That's what they do. I think there was probably a good period there where there was bad management with the local government and the city council and stuff. I think folks there were more interested in their economic well-being than the city's economic well-being. I mean, we have a discussion about this a lot when we go down there and stuff. I mean, folks tend to see and know what happens with the economy around there and why it goes the way it goes. But there are folks down there that are trying to make changes to it now. If I understand correctly, one guy that we were talking to last time who knew of things that were happening and stuff decided he was going to run for mayor. If I'm understanding correctly, he did win. So he's trying to get in there and implement some changes to revitalize that community and stuff, which I agree. I think we also would like to be a part of that and stuff. I mean, and how we can help them, look at possible economic opportunities up in there to help them make that city a better city for that county, so to speak. In order to do that, you're going to have to get rid of greed. And, I mean, once you get rid of greed, I think, and get everybody kind of in the same mindset, everybody has a fair chance at being economically prosperous.
Different ways of making money, though, right?
Yeah, different. Not all the same way. I mean, yeah, different ways. Everybody getting opportunities and stuff, and you don't just when you have contracts, you just don't give it to your buddy all the time and stuff. I mean, spread the wealth. You got other people around there that have good ideas. that can do the job just as well and stuff, this, that, and the other. But because maybe they're not from that same cloth, or they don't rub elbows with these guys, this, that, and the other, they kind of tend to not make the cut for the mustard in order, getting in and getting those kind of things and stuff. And the other part of it is, I think, a lot of folks need to educate or re-educate themselves on the process. I mean, there are processes in place if, for instance, you're bidding a contract for a particular job and stuff, and you don't get it. There are processes in place for you to go and look and find out, what really happened and stuff. If you had the lowest bid and you still didn't get it, then why? Then to me that seems like, again, that greed network took place and stuff.
You mean the highest bid?
No. When you're bidding for bidding for projects and stuff, is most of the time those people who are seeking the projects or who want the projects done for them are looking for cost saving effects on the project.